Zoo Mama. I'm here today to talk about the most interesting and exciting card coming to Marvel Snap since Airsham. We have the new September season with the new Season Pass card, Symbiote Spider-Man, with the new Activate ability. Yes, we are thinking about a ton of new stuff today. Symbiote Spider-Man coming out September 3rd is a 4-cost, 6-powered card with the ability Activate. Merge your lowest cost card here with this. Copy its text like it just revealed. So Activate is the new big mechanic in Marvel Snap. Now at the time of filming, this is still off of the data mines, okay, but we have some very extensive data mines thanks to snap.fan. I appreciate all the good work. And it appears that Activate works similarly actually to Howard the Duck, where you play it and the following turn or turns you can use it. Okay, it's like a delayed on reveal. So if you go to play Symbiote Spider-Man on turn 4, then on turn 5, you can choose to activate. Or you can choose to activate on turn 6. Okay, you click on the card and it will activate. Similar to how you'd click on Howard the Duck to see the top card of your deck. Okay, but it only works once. You get to trigger this, delayed on reveal one time. And so we've got a whole new realm of possible synergies, possible deck ideas. I mean, there's going to be so much exploring and finding out with this new mechanic. And we've got more cards coming out later in the season that also use Activate. But I think it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be really, really strong. Honestly, there's going to be some hidden, broken combos. So I'm going to talk about my predictions for this card and the Activate mechanic as a whole in this video. I'm going to give you some deck ideas if you are planning to pick up the Season Pass and just give my predictions for this very exciting new card. So when brainstorming some possible very good synergies for Symbiote Spider-Man, these are the 3 big ones I came up with. Okay, first up is something that doubles up in power, whether this is Deadpool or it's Dawkins or it's Human Torch. If you can merge Symbiote Spider-Man similar to Hulkbuster with these cards, that could help it double up really fast, okay? And then Negasonic Teenage Warhead, this might be the thing I'm most excited for. This could be absolutely broken. You play Negasonic on, let's say, turn 3. Your opponent sees it, and they have to throw out a dummy card to get something destroyed so they can play something bigger there, okay? Turn 4, you play Symbiote Spider-Man. Then on turn 5, you can choose to activate Spider-Man to merge with Teenage Warhead, and her ability should reset and be able to destroy another card. But your opponent cannot just play a dummy card there on turn 5 to get blown up, because you could also choose to wait until turn 6 to activate Spider-Man, in which case your opponent would get their 6 cost blown up if they're playing it there. I mean, this combo looks absolutely nasty. It does say copy its text like it just revealed, so I believe it should reset Negasonic Teenage Warhead's ability, and she can destroy another thing while she has 8 power after the merge. I'm very excited to test this one out. It could be like the best combo in the game in my opinion. And then just a good card like Jeff, if we can add good power to him and then move him across the board, this could even work with Nightcrawler, right? This could just be really good. I mean, just adding on 6 power is gonna have some good synergies out there. Now, what are some things that might counter Symbiote Spider-Man and this Activate ability? Well, the things I came up with, first of all, Debris. Okay, this can also be Clog deck. Maybe your opponent is playing like a White Widow. Remember that Spider-Man is targeting the lowest cost card on his location. So if your opponent put a rock on your side of the board or the Widow's Kiss, you might be in a bit of trouble. Same thing with Red Guardian. If they did hit down the power of one card and you go to merge with it and its ability was gone, I don't know if it's going to reset, if it was actually fully taken away by Red Guardian. Okay, and then something like Shadow King. If you did merge, Shadow King might just be able to zap all that extra 6 power away, and that's going to feel pretty bad. Now to look at the good and the bad for Symbiote Spider-Man, we'll start off with the good. First of all, it's a new mechanic. And I think that means it has to be good. It at least has to be good, because it's something new, it's something crazy. Think of when Second Dinner does this, okay? And for an exciting character, we do have the, Spidey season. We got a bunch of cool cards coming out. People love Spider-Man characters. And so think of Second Dinner releasing Loki. Think of Second Dinner releasing Airsham. Okay, these were exciting cards with these fun abilities. They ended up being OP. I mean, super, super OP. It's hard to really know how cards with these completely new abilities and or mechanics are going to fit into the game. And more often than not, they just end up being broken. Okay, even when Second Dinner looks to just find like a really good card, like, hey, we want a really good staple 6-cost card, let's release Alive, he's broken. Let's release Blob, he's broken. Let's release Red Hulk, he's broken. When Second Dinner is trying to make a card good, they often aim too high. Okay, that could be the exact same case with Symbiote Spider-Man. Second Dinner maybe saying, hey, we got to make this card good, it has to deliver, and they're probably going to shoot too high, and he's going to have some broken synergies that we haven't even thought about yet, and that Second Dinner has not thought about either. He is a targeted merge, so it's not like Hulkbuster where if you're playing on a location with multiple cards, you don't know which one it's going to go to. Okay, if you have card with the lowest cost there, you know what Symbiote Spider-Man is going to merge with. And then there's the question, and it seems like he can re-trigger on reveal effects. Okay, similar to Absorbing Man, but again, he's only working with the lowest cost and it's delayed. So you can choose to re-trigger the on reveal on turn 5 or on turn 6 or even turn 7 if it was a 7-turn game. Now in terms of the possible bad, okay, the downsides for Spider-Man. Well, 4-6 stat line isn't amazing. It just doesn't feel super good or easy. So you need a good ability to back it up. Okay, if the ability doesn't seem worth it or you're playing in a deck that doesn't have amazing synergies, this can often feel clunky. Okay, it's just an awkward stat. You really want 3 or lower to be, really flexible. And you do need to still keep the lowest cost cards isolated. I mean, if you're trying to merge Spider-Man with the Negasonic Teenage Warhead, like I mentioned, you need to make sure you don't have any 1 or 2 cost cards there, okay? And that can be interrupted by certain locations or what your opponent is doing. It's hard to judge how flexible he's going to be because we don't know how well this activate ability works. We don't know the extent of its synergies. We don't know exactly, when it's going to trigger in phasings. I believe it will re-trigger on reveals. We're not 100% sure because we're still running off data mines. I mean, we may not really know everything it works with until it's actually live and we can test it out. So it's kind of hard to judge there ahead of time. And it just may take a while to learn the activate mechanic properly, okay? When it happens, the phasing. I mean, if it happens at the same time move happens, you need to make sure you're activating with cards that are already revealed. If you went to activate on turn 5, it wouldn't be able to hit any card you played on turn 5 if activate happens before cards reveal. So it's just going to take a while to get used to. The first week, his stats will probably be bad as bunch of players will get the season pass card and they're going to be testing out a huge variety of things trying to figure out this activate mechanic, and you're probably going to see a lot of failures. Okay, but then after week 1 we'll start seeing the successes come through and the really good strong combos starting to rise up in the meta. This is my friendly reminder that if you're enjoying the video so far, give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We actually just hit 4,000 subscribers. Super cool. And we're going to keep going, okay? We got so much content here. We're uploading about every single new card as well as spotlight ratings and a Series 4 and Series 5 buy guide tier list. Now to talk about Spider-Man's floor and ceiling. Spider-Man at his reasonable worst, or its floor, is that he just merges with a card and the abilities don't matter. Okay, maybe he just merged with a rock. Or maybe he merged with Mockingbird somehow if you only had Mockingbird on a lane. Okay, just an example. Something where the ability doesn't matter. You're not resetting an ability or re-triggering an on reveal. He just merges and he's only stats, in which case he's a 4-6 that would not be viable and that would not be competitive. Okay, that's just not good. That's very clunky. What is his ceiling? Well, honestly, we have no idea. Okay, the best combo I've thought of is the Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Okay, to me, that's his current ceiling. But this is a new mechanic. It's completely new. We don't know. Okay, anyone who thinks they knows doesn't. Okay, it's like when people thought they knew about Arishem and he was for sure going to be a meme and yada yada yada. Okay, we simply do not know because this is something completely new. We cannot pretend to know. We have to wait and see. Okay, same thing. Where is he going to be on average? I have no idea. Okay, how much value this is going to be on average. I don't see him flopping like War Machine because we do have the ability to reset text like it just revealed. You're not relying on, hard locations to plan. You can synergize him more than a card like War Machine, but we really don't know the limits of his potential. You know, how crazy it will be. And I'm thinking it's Warhead, but I'm sure there's something even bigger, even crazier out there that people will discover after the first week or two. So the first deck idea I have for Symbiote Spider-Man is this Warhawk list, okay? So we've got Teenage Warhead in here. Like I mentioned, I think this is going to be absolutely insane. I think if you're playing Warhead and then Symbiote Spider-Man on her lane, it's basically just a one lane for you. There's no way your opponent is going to be able to throw out 2 dummy cards, the second of which they don't even know what turn it's going to happen on if you do it 5 or 6. I mean, you are just winning that lane, okay? We've got a nice Darkhawk package in here with the Korg, the Rock Slide, and the Darkhawk, of course. If Symbiote Spider-Man does also reset on reveals, like it seems he might, then you can use him to actually trigger Rock Slide again, or even just Korg or Cassandra Nova, get that extra value onto Darkhawk. Next up, I'm trying him out in this mill deck. Okay, now this is really counting on the fact that you can re-trigger on reveals like Absorbing Man. So in this deck, we have Absorbing Man and Symbiote Spider-Man, okay? So of course, we're trying to mill our opponent's deck. We can go Yondu into Cable, into Baron Zemo, or Gladiator. You follow that up with Absorbing Man, or you can follow it up with Symbiote Spider-Man, and on the following turn, let's say turn 5, you can use Spider-Man to re-trigger that Gladiator, or re-trigger that Yondu, or Cable, okay? We've got magic in here to go 7 turns, so if we want to, we could actually maybe do Absorbing Man and Symbiote Spider-Man. I mean, I think this just allows for even more mill with good power to boot. I mean, he's 2 more power to start than Absorbing Man. And lastly, I'm very excited to try him out in a Namora on reveal list, okay? So we know what this list is, right? We're trying to get 2 things on separate locations, and the third one we're going to look to set up Wong into Namora into Odin, okay? We can power up, let's say, a Nightcrawler and a Jeff, just get them really big and they can move around. It's very hard for our opponents to deal with. Sometimes things are different though, right? Sometimes we don't always have the same combo. We may want to do Wong into White Tiger into Odin or something. But with Symbiote Spider-Man, if he is re-triggering on reveals and we have him in a lane with just not many cards, because this deck is very good at just playing a few cards through the course of the game. So locations are usually empty. They're stuck to just 1 or 2 cards. We may be able to use Symbiote Spider-Man almost like an Odin, right? Just play him on the location that you're going to play White Tiger. Then on turn 6, you go to merge him. He merges with White Tiger, triggers again. You could even play Odin on top of that. Like, you're really using him as kind of a backup for a Wong or an Odin, or even kind of like Iron Lad, right? Just another way to trigger all of these big power on reveal cards. So to give my final thoughts and predictions for Symbiote Spider-Man and whether I think he's worth chasing after for this very exciting September season. In terms of being fun, I think this is going to be amazing, okay? It's just something new. Now, I will warn you that Loki was very fun until he became busted, and then he became public enemy #1, and people hated him. Airshim was very fun until he became busted and became public enemy #1, and people hated him. That could easily happen here, okay? Again, anytime Second Dinner tries to go really outside the box, do something new, do something crazy for an exciting character that people are really hyped for, it's usually busted. And so this may be fun to start, but it may not end fun. Now, in terms of being flexible, it's hard to say. I think he's okay. He's not going to be a card you put in every deck just because he does have the requirement to merge with the lowest cost card. So you do need a deck that can plan out your plays by certain locations, so you've got good targets most of the time for him to keep good consistency. You're also not just trying to merge, but you're trying to merge and copy its text like it just revealed. Okay, you're trying to get extra value from that, like what I mentioned with Teenage Warhead. You really want to make it matter because his stats are a bit clunky. So I think he's just okay. I don't think he's insanely niche, but we're gonna have to wait and see. In terms of being competitive, I think he's at least good. Second Dinner, I don't think would even allow this card to come out bad, okay? It's too much new. It has too much hype. They cannot make this a flop, okay? They can't blow it like that. But I think there's just hidden potential that something's broken, okay? Second Dinner doesn't realize it because they're not playing it with all of us in the main server, they're doing it in their test servers, and it's very hard to get an accurate test there. So he's going to come out. There's going to be some broken combo, whether it's one I've thought of or one you've thought of or one someone hasn't thought of for 2 more weeks. I'm fairly confident something's going to end up broken, but at least he's going to be good. So my recommendation is that yes, you're going to want to get this card. Okay, now this is the Season Pass card. The Season Pass is the best form of money you can spend on the game. It's just the most bang for your buck. If you spend any money on Marvel Snap, it should be the Season Pass, and especially for the September season. Even if he is broken, I don't think he'll get nerfed right away. I mean, it took Loki forever to get nerfed. They even just keep changing him. He's still fairly good, it seems. Arishem has not been nerfed too much. He's got a bunch of other cards nerfed, but he's still fairly good, it seems. Same thing here. If he's too strong right away, Second Dinner will first just nerf the cards around him, and then maybe they look to touch him up later. But I think you'll have a lot of time with him in his original and current state. So I think he's worth getting 100%. I think this is one of the best Season Pass cards to get all year. Okay, maybe the best, just because it's the nice new mechanic and an amazing character to back. So let me know what you think of Symbiote Spider-Man, what you think his best combos will be. Again, mine is Teenage Warhead. Maybe you've thought of something better. Let me know what that is down in the comments below. What decks you're excited to try out with him. Testing to see what abilities he works well with, what he doesn't work well with. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Until then, stay positive. I'll see you next time.